Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our stream. It is Wednesday once again, which means Dark Horse Comics is back, and this time so is Nickelodeon. We are here together to present a new Avatar: The Last Airbender live reading from the comics, today featuring the latest graphic novel called Suki Alone. So, welcome everyone who is watching on both Twitch and YouTube, and thank you for joining us. We love seeing you in the chat. Please feel free to go enjoy the reading, ask us questions if you have any questions about the comics as we go along. Just, remember to be excellent to each other and keep it cool in the chat. And that's about it for chat guidelines and rules. My name is Kara O'Neill. I work for Dark Horse Comics. I'm in the marketing and communications department. But more importantly, today I am joined by some very special guests. And actually, we have even more special guests than we originally thought. So very excited to turn it over to first Jennie to lead off some introductions.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here, and just thank you to Dark Horse and Nickelodeon for hosting this. It's just, I'm so happy that Suki gets some well-deserved attention. So thank you, Peter and Faith, for creating such a beautiful comic. I've read it like a few times and it's so gorgeous. So I'm just so appreciative. Oh, I get a little emotional. But I just wanted to introduce my lovely friends today for joining us. They're amazing, amazing voice actors and people and coming in to join the ATLA family. So I'm going to introduce them to you. So we have my dear friend Deedee, who I've known for so many years. You guys know her as, well, first of all, she was in the Mickey Mouse Club. She has done tons of Broadway, Miss Saigon, hello, Kim and Miss Saigon. I could go on and on. We actually met each other when we did Aladdin, a musical spectacular. I mean, we knew each other before, but we actually got to work together, and both were Jasmines. Hello, it was amazing. And you guys probably know her as Pearl from Steven Universe. Hello, you guys totally know her. So I'm just so thrilled to have her today. And we have my friend Justine. Now, Justine and I have known each other for quite some time too. We actually did a reading together of a musical. She's also an amazing singer, but you guys probably know her from Goldie and Bear. She played Little Red Riding Hood. And you guys also know her from Apex Legends. She plays Watson in the game. So she's just all over the place and does tons of voiceovers. So I'm so happy that Justine's here. And Catero, we just did a con together in Oregon. And you guys, I messed up the title of his name, the show that he does. It's
Naruto.
Thank you, Catero. Naruto. Hello. And I was like, oh, I think I said it wrong, but I was in such a hurry, and he plays Killer Bee. So you guys know that. And a little tidbit here, we have an extra guest. So I'm so excited he's here. Catero, in show business, he booked something like last minute. He called me this morning and I kind of knew, and he's like, but my cousin is here to fill in. But then things got switched around and we have Catero back. But also we have Catero's cousin, Arif. You guys may know him from Saint Row as Pierce, and he also does multiple roles on Casa Grandes, on Nickelodeon as well. So, and he does tons of VO and literally has just joined us a couple minutes ago. So I just feel so lucky to have everybody here. So that being said, shall we jump in, you guys? I'm so excited. Let me clear my throat. And thank you so much to Peter and Faith again. I hope we can do this story justice. So, all right. That being said, I would love to present the reading of Nickelodeon and Dark Horse's Avatar: The Last Airbender, Suki Alone.
Ooh. Yay.
So, any last words before I send you to the boiling rock? Giving me the silent treatment. That's no fun. Don't you have a message you want me to give to someone, like that boy with the boomerang? What's his name? Saki? Suka?
Sokka.
Whatever. I know. I should tell him that you're desperate for him to come and rescue you. I'm sure he would, if he could. Then I could capture you both and take turns tormenting you. Doesn't that sound fun?
I don't need anyone to rescue me.
You'll be completely alone at the Boiling Rock. None of the other Kyoshi warriors will be there, so no sisterly bonding in captivity. I want you to experience just how hard Fire Nation prison life can be, fighting your fellow prisoners for miserable scraps just to stay alive. Just think. Only a short time ago, you were the leader of the Kyoshi warriors, respected and feared. But now your sisterhood is in ruins thanks to your failures. Now you get to watch from a prison cell while the Fire Nation rolls over the Earth Kingdom. I'm doing all this especially for you because you're my favorite prisoner, and you deserve the best the Fire Nation can offer its enemies. Well, since you're no fun at all, I'll have to make my own when I track down the Avatar and his little group. Have fun cooling your heels in prison while I destroy your friends.
I've heard so many stories about the Boiling Rock. People go in and they don't come out. I've done hard time before. I can handle it. Not like this, you haven't. Not like this.
Let me guess. Before you saw this place, you had no dream. You had dreams of escaping better. Let me guess. Before you saw this place, you had dreams of escaping. Better leave those dreams behind. No one escapes the Boiling Rock. You belong to us now.
Suki, wait up! Don't run so fast.
Come on, come on. Shh, this way. Be quiet.
Ugh, I'm trying. Huh? Are they training?
Shh, Mingza. They're doing special training. We gotta be quiet.
What's so special about it?
You'll see. It's meditation, Kyoshi style.
Meditation? But you have to sit down for that, don't you?
Just watch.
Focus together as one. Oh. That was amazing. The way they moved together. It was so beautiful.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be just like them.
We know. You only tell us every day.
Don't make fun. You want to be a Kyoshi warrior too.
I got something for us. I hid it here.
Steam buns.
Yummy.
I'm so full. Thanks for the buns, Mingja.
Anything for my sisters.
Girls,
Hello, Waji. We were watching the Kyoshi warriors train.
that's fine, girls. But a pan of steamed buns has gone missing from the village communal kitchen. Do you know anything about it?
No, Waji. We don't have any steam buns.
I see. I'm disappointed that you would lie to me, Suki, and in front of your sisters, all of whom want to be future Kyoshi warriors. Well, since you won't tell me which one of you stole the buns, all of you will scrub the kitchen as punishment.
Oh. Sisters forever.
Sisters forever.
Oh,
Slam.
the finest in Fire Nation hospitality. How did a girl get so lucky? Focus. Together as one.
Whoosh. Swish.
Whoosh, whoosh.
Whoosh. Dunk.
Ow! Huh. Is this loose? Ow! I guess not. Ah. Huh. I wonder, is this dumpling weed? Uwaji said they'd be growing where the ground is rocky and hard.
What plant grows in such terrible conditions?
I don't know, but we're supposed to bring all we can find to the village. A piece of Kyoshi Island, out here at the end of the world.
Get in line.
Oh.
Making us eat this slop is torture. Surely the warden doesn't want important prisoners dropping dead on his watch.
Don't like the food? Don't eat.
Seriously, what animal made this? No animal with taste buds, that's for sure.
Hi, I'm Suki.
Good for you. But unless you've got something edible to offer, I don't want to know you.
Actually, I might.
Well, what you got?
Introductions first. I'm Suki, and you are?
Name's Bayou. What landed you in the Fire Nation's least favorite people resort?
I'm the leader of the Kyoshi Warriors.
The Kyoshi Warriors? Is that some kind of Avatar Kyoshi tribute group?
Sort of. We're an elite group of women warriors who have devoted our lives to Avatar Kyoshi. We left our home to join the cause against the Fire Nation. And that led us to fight Princess Azula. She won, unfortunately.
Huh. That's much more impressive than what landed me in here.
Which was?
I stole things, mostly.
Seems strange that simply being a thief would put you in a prison for the Fire Nation's most wanted.
It was more who I stole from and what it was that landed me at Boiling Rock. The last thing I stole before ending up here was the heart of this Fire Nation kid, who happened to be the son of a prominent general. The kid's mom didn't take it well, that her precious baby had fallen for a known Earth Kingdom thief, so I got dumped here. I learned the hard way to never underestimate the wrath of a Fire Nation mother.
Oh, I'm sorry you lost your boyfriend.
He wasn't my boyfriend. He was just some guy. Anyway, I think we've been introduced enough. Where's the grub you promised?
Here.
That's it?
These plants might not look like much, but they're rich in nutrients and tasty as well. They'll help sustain you.
I hope so. It's not just that this food tastes terrible. It's not enough to keep a healthy body going either. It's how the Fire Nation keeps the prisoners subdued. How can you even think about causing trouble when you're half starved all the time?
I have an idea. Come with me.
Well, can I finish my food first?
Yank.
Ink.
This spot is hidden from the guards, so we can see what we have.
We found so many. Thanks for your help.
Come on, Let's divide them up and have a meal.
No, we have to save half for seeds.
Seeds? You want to grow a garden in the middle of a prison?
If we plant some of these seeds, more will grow and we'll have a stash for food for later. Maybe we can even grow enough to share with the other prisoners.
The other prisoners? Who cares about them?
I care about them. You said it yourself. The poor food makes it impossible for them to fight back against the Fire Nation. If we can get everyone better food, there's a chance for pushback against the guards. Maybe even a chance for us to escape.
Okay, you're the boss.
How did your training go for today, Mingxia?
Really well. I think except the part where I dropped my fan. So embarrassing.
If only our Kyoshi training would help with the battle we're facing now.
Do you know how low our food reserves are?
They're almost gone. The island's harvests all failed this year. We might not have enough to get through the winter.
People are going to starve.
We'll find a way to make ends meet. We always do.
We could open the island's borders, buy supplies from other nations.
No. Avatar Kyoshi wouldn't want us to do that. She removed us from the mainland for a reason.
Avatar Kyoshi never could have predicted we'd be facing famine and starvation. You have to ask the island leaders to reach out for help. Remaining isolated means our people will suffer.
No, there's another way. I remember gathering these vegetables when we were younger. They're nutritious, and they grow all over the island's north side. We've got to tell the others. We're gonna get through this together, Mingxia.
Yeah, together.
There you go.
Thank you for this, Suki.
Don't thank me. It was a team effort. Didn't I tell you we'd survive? Didn't I tell you we'd find a way to survive?
I still think Kyoshi Island should open its borders. I don't think it's right for us to hide away in isolation. I'm going to talk to the village leaders about it tomorrow. I hope you'll support me.
You know I can't. I'm sorry, Mingxia.
It was worth a try.
Are you really going to leave? You're a Kyoshi warrior. We've known each other since we were kids. We're sisters.
We are, but I can't turn my back on the world she wants us to. There are people out there that I want to meet, experiences that I want to have. Kyoshi separated us from the rest of the world, but surely she didn't mean for us to stay that way forever. I have to go.
I'll miss you so much.
I'll miss you too. I love you.
Yay! Oh, that was so wonderful. Thank you so much.
So good.
Oh my gosh, it's just such a pleasure and such an honor to hear your script brought to life like that. Like, thank you so much for this.
Oh, it's fun.
Congratulations, everyone. Everybody watching loved the sound effects, especially.
Sound effects are A+.
Well done, especially the coordination. I think that's a new one for us on the stream.
Yes, tag
You worked
team.
it out ahead of time.
Yes.
We're sound benders.
That's right.
New category, yes.
I don't think I realized how many whooshes there were until this, actually.
There was a lot of whooshing going on.
wishy-washy.
So many wishes. Yeah.
Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
This reading today. For the fans in the chat, like I said earlier, we are going to do a little Q&A session now with everybody, both the comics creators and the voice actors, and we'll do a little bit of trivia. It's going to be very silly, lighthearted trivia about Avatar. I have a strong feeling it's going to go off the rails, and that's good, in the best of ways. So those of you watching at home are also invited to participate in asking some questions and also in the trivia. The giveaway is in fact going to be a trivia question, so stay tuned for that in a little bit. The giveaway prize will be a copy of Suki Alone, and also the 2 other graphic novels that we have done, the Toph's Metal Bending Academy book, and also Katara and the Pirate's Silver. So big prize. And yes, I wanted to call out to Faith Erin Hicks and Peter Wartman, our comics creators. Thank you for joining us. You guys helped out with the Toph reading also. Yeah, there they are.
Yeah.
And we also shout out to the colorist on all of these books, Adele Matera, and a big shout out to my colleagues at Dark Horse, the editors on the series, Jenny Blank and Rachel Roberts, who are helping moderate the chat, by the way. So you got questions,
yes.
They might be able to answer. We can answer questions about the comics, everything that we have announced that is out in the world or is that upcoming. And we can also answer questions about, some of the basics of voice acting and comics creation and things of that nature. So to dive into that, why don't we talk about what was your first experience with the world of Avatar and Korra? I think maybe starting with Jenny makes sense, but everybody here, what is your experience with Avatar Korra? How did you first get involved?
Well, for me, I don't know if people have heard this story a billion times, but it was like a normal audition. My agent sent me the sides for a character by the name of Suki, and sides, if people don't know what they are, it's just a scene from the script. So you wouldn't read the whole script. And so basically what I auditioned with is the scene where Suki is schooling Sokka when Sokka first arrives. And I read those sides. Actually, back in the day, you'd have to go to your agent's office. So I had to drive like 30 miles to my agent's office, lay my audition down, go home. And then I got a call that I had a call back for Suki. And I went actually to Nickelodeon. And just to kind of paint a picture of what Nickelodeon looks like, it looks like all the colors of the rainbow at Nickelodeon when you go in. And there were, 30 people in the waiting room. They probably were auditioning for different parts, and also Suki as well, but probably different cartoons as well. And I went in the studio, read with Andrea, and then I went home, and then they called me and they're like, oh, well, you booked the guest spot of Suki. And I was like, okay, great. So that was my introduction to the world of Avatar. I had no idea what it would turn into.
That seems to be kind of a common refrain, from some of the previous readings we've done. Like Jessie Flower, she was so little when she started.
I have stories about Jessie, aka Michaela. She was like a firecracker, and she was like 11. She had this long hair, and I was like, whoa, she has a lot of energy. Perfect. And Michaela still does. She is a powerhouse and helps me so much. And now it's weird because I see her as an adult. I'm like, she is amazing. Like just doing all her businesses and all, like she really helps me so much. I was very impressed. Big shout out to Michaela, aka big shout out
Jessie Flower. Mm-hmm. She really helped pull together the Toph reading as well, just like Jenny did for this one. Thank you both. So much energy and so much positivity. The Avatar folks are just wonderful. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Faith and Peter, I know you have some kind of I'll let you tell your own stories, of course. I've heard a little bit, but I would love to hear again how you kind of fell into the world of Avatar.
Well, my background is actually in animation. I went to college for animation and graduated many years ago. And a few years after I graduated, Avatar started airing. And at the time, I was just really burned out on animation and wasn't very inspired by it. And some of my online friends started talking about this show called Avatar, which was very different from a lot of the shows that were on the air in the aughts. The idea of having a serialized show with an ongoing storyline, a fantasy show, was very unusual. So I started watching it, and I remember I came in and started watching it just as season 3 was starting. So I didn't have to sit through that year of waiting between season 2 and season 3, thank goodness. And yeah, then I just remember watching it and just being like, what is this? Like, I've never seen an American animated show like this. I was familiar with anime, and there was similar shows coming out of Japan, but I hadn't seen anything like it coming out of the US. And yeah, I was just blown away by it. And now here I am, more than many years later, and it's like, oh, I actually get to write Avatar: The Last Airbender comics, official comics for my favorite animated show. So yeah, I don't know. It was just wonderful and inspiring, and came along at a time in my life when I was like, oh, I'm so sick of animation. Animation sucks. And it proved me wrong. Animation can be so amazing.
I'm trying to remember, like, when I started watching now. I was in college, I think, like halfway through art school. I was going in for comics, though. I wasn't doing animation. But it was still, like, I think I was just starting to kind of like watch Miyazaki and all that stuff, and kind of understand anime. And it was just interesting seeing a show from the US that kind of was playing in those same spaces, and it was super inspiring. And then I went off and I just did. I was doing graphic design and writing my own little online comic that wasn't making any money. I just got an email one day saying, "Hey, you want to work on Avatar?" And that's, sometimes that's just how things go, I guess. So yeah, now I've been doing this with Faith for however long it's been, since 2017 or so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's been a while now, and we've done 6 books together.
I think we've done 6 books.
Yeah. Imbalance, which was a trilogy, and then the 3 standalones. And yeah, it's been amazing to work with Peter really cool. And Adele.
Yeah, that's a great point. Dark Horse, for anybody who didn't know, has been continuing the story of Avatar and also of Korra in these official comics for quite a long time now. So there's a lot of Avatar graphic novels, Korra graphic novels, also art books, the Art of the Animated series for both, which is how we got started in the first place, was those art books. New editions of those are coming out actually very soon with new cover art by Brian Konietzko, which is pretty cool. You can see all of those on our website at darkhorse.com. They should be available for pre-order. So definitely worth checking out. I want to kind of mix things up. So we've got some comics questions and some voice acting questions for everybody. So for the voice acting crowd, just starting with the basics, how did you get your start in voice acting? If you don't mind telling folks kind of what that's like.
Justine or Catero?
I'll answer. Well,
okay.
I started doing voiceover when I was like 7 years old. I'm originally from Chicago, and I would do commercials. And when I moved to California, I got a really awesome agent, and she sent me out, just like Jenny said, she sent me out on auditions, and I booked them. And, that's basically how I started. Well, I took a class that a guy named Charlie Adler taught, and he's famous for being Buster Bunny. He's also Cow and Chicken and Mr. Red. He was Starscream in the Transformers movie. And he was like, you know what? You're really good. You should meet this agent. And that's how I met my agent. So I took the class once I got to LA.
Pretty good deal.
I walked into a cave and I left blood on an altar.
That's right. It worked.
Perfect.
Next thing you know, he was Jazz.
Here you are.
I was working on a TV series, actually, and we were looking for new representation. So we went by Sutton Barth and Venari, the classically huge boutique agency.
Totally.
And as I walked by the departments, there was a whisper room. That's what we call them now. But then those were actually just booths. And I was very shocked to see that in a commercial agency. And I said, yo, what's that? and they explained to me, and I said, like, you mean like the cartoon people, like making the voices and stuff? They say, yeah. I said, all right, uh, let's do it. And within the first year, I signed in October. I booked like 5 gigs by December. Didn't work another for like a year and a half. I didn't book anything else for like a year and a half, and then stuff started to pick up, and I've been with SBV since '96.
Wow.
The October of '96. Yeah, and it's been a fun ride. It's a fun ride. It is definitively. They didn't teach it in school when some of us were coming up. I'm a man of a certain age, but I am very privileged to be in this world and to have a chance to play with amazing artists like you guys.
I was sad I didn't get a chance to share my Avatar story.
Oh, please do. Please do.
Unfortunately, I was not part of the Avatar family. Thank you, Jennie, for inviting me to do this. My experience with Avatar is last year during the pandemic, when my kids were looking for a new series to watch. They started watching, excuse me, they started watching Avatar. Aww. And they fell in love with it. And so of course I'm doing the dishes and the laundry, and then I'm watching as I do my chores. But I realized that Mr. Dante, who my kids refer to as Mr. Dante, because we did a convention in Hawaii many years ago, and we realized that Mr. Dante is in Avatar, and then Auntie Jennie is also in Avatar. So that was like cool points for me with my kids. That was my connection. The only thing I knew really about Avatar was that it was about kind of similar to like one of my favorite bands, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah.
So
yes,
that's sort of what I associate with Avatar. It's beautiful. And I loved the voice acting, especially the boy who played the Avatar. And I was just so drawn to his voice. And then voice acting for me sort of fell into acting. I was acting for a while, for many years, like Jennie said, and then voice acting. I've always wanted to voice a cartoon character ever since I can remember watching, growing up watching animated films, and especially musical films. Music is sort of in my background, and so I guess the most prominent character that I voice is Pearl from Steven Universe, and it's a very musical show. So I was really happy that it was so musical that I could lend my singing voice to that show as well. But yeah, that's I'm still chugging away, still auditioning for whatever comes along. And during the pandemic, I had to upgrade my home studio because we weren't going in person for a while, although things are picking back up again. And I think I love it. Voice acting, like Arif said, is such a privilege, and I feel so blessed to have been able to work on the few projects that I have worked on. But voice acting is just super fun because you're still acting, even though people don't see your face, which is really fun to do these kinds of things, these readings, because people actually see, you talking and see what your face does while you're saying the lines. But this is so fun. Thank you for having me, you guys. Everybody's so awesome.
Thank you.
Justine?
Yeah. So thank you, Jennie, again for having me. This is my first experience with the Avatar universe, so it's super exciting. And I got into voice acting about 10 years ago. I was doing musical theater and theater in New York. I thought that was going to be my path, just doing theater, and then I moved back to LA. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and thought, I'll take a year and see what LA brings. I really missed my family. I missed the warm weather. And I sort of fell into voiceover because two of my cousins have been doing voiceover for years. And they said, with your musical talent and all the theater training that you had, I think that you could do really well in voiceover. So I took some classes and I started doing commercials, and then I started doing animation, which I love so much. Animation is my favorite, and video games. It's so much fun. I took so many accent and dialect classes in high school and college. So for people that are looking to get into voiceover, I always say, if you can do as many accents as possible, if you can do older voices, younger voices, it helps to be versatile, because so much of the time you'll go in for an animated show and they'll want you to do at least 3 characters. So they really want differentiation of voices. And also they love improvisation, which I also, if you take improv classes, comedy classes, anything that really opens your mind and lets you play.
I just wanted to say, like, it blows my mind how actors can do different accents. Like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I just found out that Tom Holland is British. It blew my mind. I was like, how?
I love hearing these stories. Even if other folks watching weren't asking, I love to just kind of get everybody's kind of perspective on this. I think it's really fascinating how many people have backgrounds in music. Actually, it totally makes sense. But it's just interesting to me. Like, I also had a background in music, and then eventually in college, I narrated books on tape. I narrated audio books, and it was just something that it was like a college job. I didn't realize that it could be a career.
Yeah, a big one.
Yeah. Otherwise, maybe I should have kept up with that. But anyway, thank you for sharing. I think it's really interesting, and I love seeing like what a connected community voice acting really is. So,
I think that the voice acting community we're some of the nicest people. Like,
seriously.
There's not the crazy competition of, when you go into an audition and everybody looks the same and everyone is, wearing the same dress or the same outfit, and everyone's looking each other up and down. The voice acting community, I feel like, is so nice and encouraging, and everyone is just, hoping that the other, person gets a job too. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It always feels like a quad at the auditions, or like the student union.
Yeah.
Everybody's just hanging around like, you guys gotta go. Oh, we're like, no, I haven't seen Justine in 10 years. I just seen Jennie down the street. You do that outside.
Totally.
Arif and Arif, by the way, interesting factoid, is my cousin. We're both musicians. It's funny. It seems like all the voice actors here are musicians.
We are all, yeah.
And I think what it is it's a familiarity with being in front of the microphone, and also you use your voice as a singer or as a rapper or whatever you're doing.
And your ear.
And your ear. And you have
the rhythm is so important. Yeah.
It's really big. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can always catch the beat of the scene, because just like iambic pentameter has its own rhythm, almost like a rap of sorts. It's like sometimes there's a way that the script is moving, or there's a pull and tug.
Yeah, for sure.
What the watchers don't know is Catero and I we just did that. I'm telling you, we did it almost impromptu. With our sounds. Yeah. So it's like,
that's cool.
It's just being able to feel the other person, like, okay, let's do this, and you work it out.
It's like being in a choir, yeah.
Yeah, we live by jazz hands, we die by jazz hands.
Oh my gosh, jazz hands. Those jazz hands. Wow. Are we in Pitch Perfect? What's going on here? That's hilarious. Oh man.
I actually can't do jazz hands very well. Like, I'm like one of those cars where one blinker is off, like one will go fast and one will go slow.
Come on in, we'll take you.
I need help. Well, thank you again for being here, for being on camera, so people actually see your faces and not just hear your voices. We very much appreciate having you all join us to kind of help get these comics out into the world, bring them to life.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah. So we're getting a lot of questions kind of on a similar theme from the chat, which I am happy to relay. So starting with Jennie, what was your favorite part in the Suki Alone comic?
Wow. I was telling everybody before we went live that I actually read it a few times. Again, not only because I voiced Suki, but because I feel like the storyline is so apropos, actually, for this day and age. And believe it or not, I really relate to this storyline and Suki, what she's going through. I think the thing that is so beautiful about it is there's a lot of different favorite parts for me, and that I'm kind of all over the place when I say it, but I don't know if a lot of Avatar fans know about the depth that Suki can go to. And there's so much love for her. So many fans reach out to me. But the thing that I'm so proud and so honored to be a part of is the beautiful writing, how she has so much depth and has to go through this journey that basically brings her to her lowest point, and really has to have the faith, like Faith Erin's name, but really has to go through the depth of finding herself and finding her spirituality and having the trust, and still believing in community when community, sometimes she's made mistakes in her community. The community that she tries to bring together, some people have let her down, and she only can rely on herself at a certain point, but then remembers that there is people who have gone before her who have made it through. And I think that's a really perfect time that we're reading this, right? Because we're all going through this. All of us are going through a point in time where when all of us are questioning what is happening, how am I relating this myself into the world? How can I be a part of the world that makes some sort of change and impact? And that's honestly, as an artist, that's all I want to do. And also, I think Suki, that's her purpose in life. And so it's just I get really, really emotional about this because that's where I feel like I so connect with her. And it's really cool to play that.
That's
storyline
beautiful.
Just really carries that through. And she gets a little help from her friends too. I'll shut up now.
No, that's perfect. All I was going to say is that you also answered some of the other common questions, like what was the best part of playing Suki's role, for example.
And people get to see her in a different light. It's like, she's not perfect, she's made mistakes, but I think has learned, as you see in the flashbacks, has learned, oh, I can't do that now, she's really, learning.
Yeah. If not clear for those watching at home, we just read a little portion today from the whole graphic novel. So that was a bit of a cliffhanger. Pick up Suki Alone from your local comic shop or bookstore to get the whole story. We won't spoil it all for you today, but similar questions, this time a bit more for the comics creators. What prompted the Suki comic? Why did you choose Suki to feature in one of these graphic novels?
I mean, for me, I feel like she is one of the main characters of Avatar who hasn't been her story, her background, her character. Actually, she just hasn't been dived into, I guess, as much as the other characters, and even with the comics as well. I feel like Jean, Yang, and Guriharu, before Peter and I took over the series, didn't spend a lot of time with Suki, and I think she's a great character, and I wanted to see her explored more. I wanted to see her fallible, because she is like very, very strong, sometimes to the point of maybe she's a little too perfect, but I wanted to see her like vulnerable and expressing herself, and also reaching a point that is, her lowest point, as Jenny said. So I felt like she was the perfect character to focus on in these standalone books when we got the opportunity to do them. And I don't know, I thought Peter's artwork really knocked it out of the park. Like, my favorite, no spoilers, but my favorite part is the part at the end when we get a cameo, a mysterious cameo from another character. And I just love the way Peter drew that part. I thought it was so beautiful.
I guess I'll just kind of echo what everyone else said about Suki. But also Boiling Rock was always my favorite arc from
those episodes are great.
I love a good prison break, So it was a lot of fun doing this. And yeah, also like the characters in Avatar who don't have bending abilities, they're just normal, right? But they have to kind of find ways to make it anyway. If it's like Sokka doing like his crazy plans, or Suki's just being really good at what she does, that's kind of fun. So it's a great book to write. Yeah, or not write, to draw. What am I saying? Anything. I've been writing comics for a while, so my brain's all screwed up. But yes.
Well, I think that's a great point. There are so many interesting characters, especially I love how Avatar kind of highlights those characters who are not benders, as well as the ones who are, which actually brings us to another common question. Everybody, Jennie, if you could play a different character on Avatar, and everybody else, if you could play any character on Avatar, who would you want to play?
People have heard me say this before. I would love to play Katara, but now, today, I want to be Appa. I'm so obsessed with Appa. I would love to be Appa, just flying around, making sounds, hovering over things. I don't want to get caught, but I want to be able to fly and have all the spur just going all around. Yes. I would love to be that character.
Yes.
Appa's got so many legs.
Yeah, totally.
So much to draw.
Yeah. Yes.
I bet he's not a horse.
She's like a horse with 2 extra legs. It's a lot.
Totally. That's funny.
Forgive me because I don't know all of the characters, but what's the giant mouse monkey flying? Is that Appa?
That might be Appa, yeah.
Yeah. He's a bison. Uh-huh.
He's so very cuddly and
totally.
Oh, and flies.
It flies. That's why. Yeah, and his character is just so amazing.
I would say ditto then.
Yeah.
A lot of votes for Appa. I also love Appa very much.
Justine?
For me, probably Azula, just because I never get to say mean powerful roles like that.
That would be fun.
I was going to say that because I told my son this morning, because he says, "What are you doing this afternoon?" I said, "Well, I'm going to voice. Do you remember Avatar or watching it during the pandemic?" And I said, "Do you remember Zuko?" And he says, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, so Zuko has a sister named Azula." And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "I'm going to try and voice Azula." And he goes, "Oh, she's a mean character." That's what he says. She's a mean character, Mom. And then I was like, I know.
You did awesome.
You were great, Azula.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was trying to study Gray. She's amazing.
She's amazing.
Anybody who bends fire is dope.
Yeah. You did awesome, Deedee. Yeah.
You Kathmandu?
Any of the firebenders, I'd like to have that power if I could. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would like to play the rock that was destroyed in episode 2. No, I would like. I guess the firebenders are winning. I would want to do Zuko.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would want to do Zuko. I'd love to give him a shot. I love his character arc. That's the thing. It's like I remember Dante doing Jake the dragon for Disney, and I was like, oh, okay, that was super dope. But this character, from where he starts to where he ends up, is just wow. Wow. It's very, very good. It's a testament to the writers and the creatives that put it together, because when it's all woven together, I still can't make sense out of Dragon Ball Z. I've been trying. For 20 years, I can't make sense out of it. I'm just like, I just watch it when it's on. But Avatar, I can make sense of. I can see the full thread, and it's beautiful. It's well done. And the thing that I like about it is not a character I want to play, but what I want to exalt and bring forth to everybody is, I love the fact that no one is in need. All the female characters are strong, smart, can kick butt, and I'm raising a daughter. I love that.
Yeah.
I freaking love that. I really love it. And it's not overbearing. It's just like, this is how it is. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
cool.
a really great
Super
point.
cool.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that resonated with me watching it as well, as I fell in love with a bunch of the different female characters. I think especially Toph for me. But Suki too. I like the stronger kind of strong silent. I don't know. Katara I also really liked, but I didn't identify with her quite as much. But I think she's a really interesting character too. Well, that actually kind of leans into another commonly asked question from folks. And I know that not everybody maybe is like an expert in every character from the Avatar universe, but some of you already kind of answered this. If you could have any bending ability, is there one that you especially are drawn to?
Fire.
Boomerang.
Water.
I think I'd be an earthbender. I like chucking rocks.
Do all of them fly? I'm sorry.
No.
The airbenders do.
Yeah.
Or they glide.
Then air.
I would also like to fly. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be fun to fly.
I would water bend because I'm born and raised in LA. I love the water, but just to be able to have the different forms, how Katara does, that'd be dope.
It's beautiful.
Any other takers? It's
Well, I
interesting
guess
how
I think I would be a smoke bender then, because I want to do. I'm a fire bender that wants to do water.
I'm gonna
steam bender. I would get everybody's pores beautiful.
I would put out all the fires.
That's right.
With the water, and we could use that right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like that about the way that bending sort of develops through the series. You end up with earthbenders who can metal bend, or as you saw in the Toph graphic novel, lava bending is a thing.
Yeah.
Waterbenders have kind of scary blood bending, lots of different segues, combos.
Right. They meld into one another.
Water's in the blood. That's right.
Well, we're going to kind of wrap up the Q&A session in a little bit. So get in any final questions, folks in the chat. Thank you for participating and asking some great questions of everybody. After that, we're going to move into some of that kind of fun and silly trivia, and I'll announce your trivia giveaway question as well. To kind of widen things up a little bit, and we're kind of focusing in on Avatar abilities and characters. But another one for everybody. What is one of your favorite voice acting roles that you've had so far? Starting with the voice actors, and then I got another one for the comics creators.
For me, I love Killer Bee. I really love playing Killer Bee. But I just did a part on a show that I can't say yet because it's not out, but it's coming out on Cartoon Network. I got to play a little kid, and that was really fun. I mean, I was sweating. Yeah, it's a little kid on the Cartoon Network, but I can't say till they put it out. But to play something that is different from who I am, essentially, like she was saying, doing accents or crazy voices or whatever. That's like the like the thing that I love, to get in somebody and do something different than what you are. Those are the types of things that I like. That's why I like Killer Bee on Naruto, because he's just crazy. He's not like me, and his voice is, way different from mine. It's like this.
Yes.
So yeah, for me, it's anything. That's why I really got into doing cartoon stuff, because I liked Mel Blanc and the power of his voice. And he did everybody from Bugs to Daffy to Rootin' Tootin'. He did everybody. And
so cool.
Those are the things that excite me about voice acting work. So whatever part that is, but Killer Bee.
Yay. Yeah. I would say for me, obviously, aside from Suki, who she's just going to live into eternity as just this amazing, well thought of, well written, do-gooder in the world. I'm allowed to say it now. I'm so bad. I need to be able to talk more about things. I need to be able to say things, and that's me not doing it. But I've been voicing this character. I talked about it a little bit, I think, before, but I voiced this character by the name of 13 on this cartoon called Scissor 7, which is based out of Asia. And her name is 13 because she's the 13th best assassin in the world. And she is so quite opposite than Suki, where you know her as, she's also badass, but she's so flawed. She's so flawed, but through her storyline, you see why she's so flawed, and you see her vulnerability, and her storyline is really great too. And it's super goofy, but she, you know, she's really good at what she does. I mean, she's the 13th best in the world. So she's a really fun character, but I also too feel very lucky to be able to play all these different sort of roles. I'm going to post this picture on my Instagram. I took this picture in the bathroom of this studio where I couldn't even say what studio it was, because people are always going to be like, are you really working? I can't say because I've been working on 3 projects, but literally it's like in the bathroom, I'm literally working on something, but I can't say what it is until next year, you know, because even the studios are afraid that people will piece the pieces together. So yeah, just again, really happy to be able to do variety of different characters. But I would say that's what sticks out in my mind in the moment, aside from Suki, is 13.
Probably for me, the character I'm best known for is Watson in Apex Legends, which Dark Horse did comics of, which is so cool. I love those comics. They're amazing. But yeah, that's the role for me that is an ongoing role. So we're hoping another 10 years, I'm hoping, with this character. It's so much fun. French, which I have in my background, and she's super positive and makes a ton of dad jokes, very, very corny puns about electricity, and it's been a lot of fun to voice. I love this character.
I would have to say one of my favorite characters to voice, besides Pearl. I mean, I love that Pearl has brought me to so many different conventions to meet so many people who love Steven Universe. And I also love that it's sort of an extension of it's more of an exaggerated voice but it's my own voice, so I don't have to stretch too far. My kids know that's mom, that's mom's voice, just a little bit more exaggerated. But I recently have been able to voice specifically Filipino voice actor or characters, which is pretty cool. One that I can talk about is from Netflix's Trece, which they have many versions of the same show from the Philippines. I'm in the English voice cast, which is currently on Netflix, and I hope that we can do more series. But yeah, so I think that's one of my favorites is that I'm able to it's not one of my favorites, I guess. It's like, I love that I've been able to voice specifically Filipino characters. A couple more that are coming up that I can't talk about, but it's pretty cool. It's very neat.
Yeah, we definitely understand the things you can't talk about quite yet in comics also.
Right. So
it goes. Well, so Arif will be right back, but in the meantime, for the comics creators, are there any, do you have any favorites? I know it's hard to play favorites, but it is a question we're being asked. Do you have any favorites among your stories in the Avatar universe so far, or ones that you would really like to be able to tell, should the stars align?
I mean, I really loved what we did on Imbalance. That book was so hard to write. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a hugely challenging project. It was my first time writing in the Avatar universe, so I was terrified because it was my favorite show and I wanted to do it justice. And then I'm really proud of the storyline that we came up with. Addressing the issue of Bender supremacy and the rise of Bender supremacy in this world as non-Benders have more rights and are able to influence this world more. So I'm very, very proud of that series. Hopefully in the future, I'll get a chance would love to write Azula, would love to write Iroh. I haven't really written, there was Azula, a little bit of Azula in Suki alone, but that's the only chance I've had to write her so far. Hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully I'll get the chance.
And Balance was a kind of jump right into the fire sort of a thing, wasn't it? And then getting all the notes back from Brian, like all the little red lines of here's the poses to fix, and it was a lot. But yeah, I'm proud of what we did.
And that on that series we worked directly with Brian and Mike, whereas on the standalone comics we were working with Tim Hendrick. So obviously Brian and Mike had incredibly high standards.
Which is actually a cool thing. It's like
the work is
nice
better
to know
because
that
of it.
They really cared about the comics, and the comics were kind of part of the whole thing, and they weren't just like a side idea at all. So it made us feel like we're telling part of the story, which was great.
Like we got to create a legacy. I mean, I don't do a lot of licensed comic work, and I feel like Avatar definitely was the gold standard for that because it continued the story. It told stories that mattered. That was something that was wonderful and terrifying when we got to do Imbalance.
All things worth doing are a little terrifying.
Very true. As a reminder, if folks don't know, Nickelodeon, Mike and Brian, all of these folks are very involved with the comics. Everything we do that is licensed is, in step with the licensor. So we work very closely together to tell the stories that, everybody wants to tell, and to the standards of people like Mike and Brian.
Especially Appa, getting Appa's physics right. They were very sticky about that.
I bet.
Yeah. How many legs, Peter? How many legs?
Too many. 6. Yes.
A lot.
I'll figure that eventually. Appa's a great character. He's just a very strange character. But once I don't know. Comics are good.
I do love Appa, but you are correct. He has more than the usual number of legs. I was listening to the podcast that they started recently with Janet Varney. And they were talking about what Appa's origins were and how he's kind of modeled after a manatee, which I actually hadn't made the manatee connection before.
In fact, like a lot of the references I was given to finally make him swim correctly through the air was like, here's a bunch of manatee references. It's another cool thing is we slowly kind of get a sense of like, oh, here's the development work they've already done on these characters, and go figure it out.
Well, you've done an amazing job. I think the fans all agree. Thank you for continuing these stories and comics. Also, thank you, Justine, for pointing out we do also at Dark Horse do those Apex Legends comics and art books, both. I think the first one that we released was the Pathfinder's Quest art and lore book. So if we have any Apex Legends fans probably tuning in today as well, that lore book is really cool.
Right here.
Nice.
Yes.
I love it. I don't know how you feel about it, but it was really fun to get to see the game developers and everybody at the studio get so excited about that book because they wrote a lot of that, and it was their book.
Yes. I loved it. It was so interesting. And finding out more about the lore of my character was so cool. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that was one of the first dives into Apex Legends lore. So that's pretty cool that we get to kind of help be a part of that. You can find more info about that book and the art of Apex Legends, and then the Apex Legends Overtime comics, which are ongoing right now on our website. I don't know if y'all know this, but we also did a Steven Universe coloring book and the Art of Steven Universe, the movie, for some extra connections today.
Cute.
Yeah, that was another one that actually our editors on these books.
Okay.
Our editors on the Avatar books also worked on those books. So I know they're very excited to have Pearl joining us today.
Have fun.
Small worlds. We don't publish Naruto, unfortunately. But we do lots of other manga. And that was another thing. It was really funny for everybody. Like, oh yes, Killer B is going to join us for some Avatar. So good times. Thank you again, everybody. Well, we're going to kind of, as I said, segue away from the questions now, Q&A, and move into just a little bit of trivia, just for fun. For the fans at home, I'm going to open up the giveaway in a few moments here. So your question, fans watching at home, enter this word in the chat if you are with us live on Twitch and in YouTube, but especially in Twitch, because that is where you're going to get messages about the giveaway. What is the name of King Boomy's pet goat gorilla?
Oh.
The name of King Boomy's pet goat gorilla. Enter that name using a capital letter at the beginning in the chat, and that is your entry into the giveaway. So everybody who enters that word or name in the giveaway in the chat will have an entry, and we'll draw a winner near the end of the stream. So I'll remind you near the end for one final chance. What is the name of King Boomy's pet goat gorilla? Like I said, I love those combo animals in Avatar, so there you go.
Can I give a hint? Is that legal for me to give a hint?
Oh yeah, you should know. Go ahead, give a hint.
It does not rhyme with Oscar de la Renta.
That's a deep hint.
That's a real.
I just helped.
Yeah,
you won because of me. You helped. You won.
So we'll see. I know not everybody here today worked on Avatar necessarily, but we're gonna just have a little fun with some Avatar trivia questions. I'm gonna give you some easy ones, I hope, at first. Okay. We've talked about some of these characters already. What are the names of both of Aang's animal companions?
Momo and Appa.
Hey, we need like some Jeopardy music or something.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
That's probably the only thing I'm going to get right.
I know, me too. I'm like, oh.
It's just being put on the spot. It makes my brain panic.
Like I said, they'll be pretty easy like that one.
Okay.
Although my teammates at Dark Horse did contribute to some of these, and they may have gone a little bit deeper into the lore. We'll see.
Okay.
This one I like because it's a funny episode. What is the cure for colds or fevers, according to the herbalist?
I forgot.
Oh, is
that the frog one? Where you're sucking
frogs?
On a frog?
Frozen toads.
Is that the answer?
Frozen wood frogs, and they had to put them in their mouths.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That episode's so funny. Oh my gosh. Just like Sokka sucking on that toad.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're not really they're not aware when it's first happening, but then as they start to wake up, then it becomes,
that's your boyfriend, Jenny.
I know.
On that toad.
Little freaky. That's okay.
Opposites attract. It's fine.
Right. Yeah, sure. Part of that, yes.
On those same lines, what does Sokka's first girlfriend turn into?
First girlfriend.
I know, you're gonna have to have a chat with him.
Oh,
it's
no.
tough, buddy. Rough buddy. I'm sorry.
She turns into the moon and she can stay there. She turns into the moon. Bye-bye.
Episode. That is correct. I am not keeping score, by the way. We're just having some fun with the trivia. So.
Okay.
Everybody at home can play along too. You probably are all experts in Avatar, and these are too easy for you.
Exactly. The fans always know more. I always use that as a disclaimer. I'm like, you guys, you might have to help me out.
Yeah. Not everybody is like deep lore like Janet Varney, bless her.
Oh my gosh, she's so amazing. Like, she knows a lot.
Yeah. I was astonished. I mean, Janet is the one who really kind of kicked off these readings, actually, because she offered
I can see
pandemic hit. Yeah, the pandemic hit. Everybody was in lockdown. We were at home. Dark Horse. It was actually our very first big live stream on Twitch, and we were trying to find things we could do to engage people at home while we're all stuck in quarantine. And Janet Varney rung us up and was like, "Oh, I love the Korra comics. Maybe we could do a live reading."
She is amazing.
Yeah,
and lovely.
She's a powerhouse.
And And I had no idea she was on one of my favorite shows, which is not on the air anymore, but she's so good at everything she does. And she's a lovely person, which makes it even better.
Yeah. I don't even know her as well. In my experiences with her, I 100% agree. Janet, thank you, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
And she recruited Seychelle Gabriel for the first Korra live reading because, you know, it's their two characters, Korra and Asami, of course. And then it just sort of took off from there. And like I said, y'all voice actors are such a wonderful, friendly, like close-knit community that we've been able to do more. So thank you all again.
Thank you.
And trivia question. What sort of vendor keeps ending up with his cart wrecked throughout Team Avatar's adventures?
Cabbage.
My cabbages.
My cabbages.
Cabbages.
I've seen so many people cosplaying as that guy and just like sprawled out.
The cabbage
cabbages. Yeah.
That's funny.
If they bring like a whole cart of cabbages, man,
that would be impressive.
That's big props to those cosplayers who I've cosplayed once, and it was for BlizzCon because it was Halloween. And that's the only reason I cosplayed was because it was Halloween. And even that, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't even walk. Like
it's
everybody picture.
Who were you dressed as?
I was Ash from Overwatch.
Oh, nice.
Like a cowgirl kind of.
Yes. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. It seemed a lot easier. Like I said, I didn't want to have like accessories or a bit because I also had to work. So you know, cowgirl was a bit easier than like one of the giant elves or something from another game. So the cabbage merchant, my cabbages, of course, is the answer to that question. Now we are starting to get into the more lore-based questions. What was Iroh's son's name?
Oh man, I don't know that.
Lieutenant?
Faith, I think is like
is that right?
Sure, but I think you're gonna win. Yes. That's,
Ooh.
Faith surges ahead.
This is the best I've done at any kind of trivia ever.
Uncle Iroh is probably my favorite human character. I think
he's the best.
Yeah,
he's the best. Yeah,
Appa being the other favorite character, of course. What city does King Bumi rule over?
What is the name of that city?
Why can't I think of it? I know what it looks like.
It's wait, does Deedee go it?
I cheated. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Is it Omashu?
It
is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Google.
And now everyone's on the board. What was the name? Oh man, I wouldn't even be able to answer some of these. What was the name of Aang's first firebending master?
Oh.
I used to know that. Wait, I can't.
It is a bit of a deep dive. Like I would have had to watch those episodes recently, you know, for it to be fresh.
I can see the guy's face, but I can't remember his name. He had like the bushy hair and the kind of pencil mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zhang.
Yeah.
That's fine. This one I think is easier, but it took me a minute to remember it too when I first read the question. Fill in the blank from this Earth Kingdom propaganda slogan. There is no blank in Ba Sing Se.
War.
Yeah. That's right. I almost made that one the trivia question for fans, but then I didn't want everybody typing war into the chat. So.
I love the Ba Sing Se episodes. Like, I don't know. There's something about that particular section of season 2 that I just think are wonderful. Yeah.
For all the folks who aren't as into the world of Avatar here with us today, do you have any trivia from your own shows that you would like to challenge all the rest of us to?
Oh gosh. I'm bad at everything. And all the trivia. I'll just take a sip of water.
I have one. How many tails does Killer Beast have?
Oh man. I don't know if I'm even eligible to enter.
I'll give you a hint. Naruto, his has 9.
I was going to say 9, but
yeah, I would have thought right. 9. No, 7.
Close.
8. 6.
Yes.
Which one was it? Oh,
It's
eight.
yeah.
I got it.
I was
I got one right.
That is a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that's great.
Are there any 8 or 9-tailed animals in Avatar yet? That's not a trivia
yet.
question. That's just a question.
I don't think so.
We'll have to run that one by. See if maybe in the future we'll do like a crossover with Naruto.
Fun.
Gosh, I would ask some Apex Legends trivia, but I'm fully absorbed in Avatar now, so I can't like.
Okay.
Ugh. Well, we've got a few more just for fun, hopefully easy. Run with them if you want. What aquatic creatures did Aang go to Kyoshi Island to see?
Oh, the
Unagi. Is that
I
right?
think,
You elevated it to the bonus question, actually.
Oh, sorry.
No,
isn't it like aren't there penguins?
Oh,
they did talk about penguins too. That's the penguins are at one of the poles.
Right.
But they went to Kyoshi Island to see the elephant koi.
Oh,
Oh,
I was
right.
gonna say
Then he met the unagi.
that wasn't
So you got the bonus
right.
question.
yes.
Yeah. I don't know if that's worth like 2 points in my non-tracking system here.
Okay.
We have another one that also has a bonus question. Where are the 2 spirit portals in Avatar: The Last Airbender located?
Oh, that's deep. Oh.
They kind of play more in Korra, I think.
Are they on the poles? One of them is north.
You
think
are
the north.
correct. They are at the poles.
Okay,
And then a third one was opened in The Legend of Korra.
Republic
Right.
City.
There's the bonus. Well done. It is like I actually could not really remember that from Avatar, but I definitely remembered it from Korra. So
I don't know if it happened in Avatar.
No, I don't think it's
Yeah.
mentioned in Avatar.
that would make sense then. North and South Poles, and then another one in Korra. Just a couple more for fun. After he was kidnapped and sold to a circus, which was very sad, what was Appa dressed up as by his captors?
Wasn't it like a clown or something?
They just sort of dressed him up and called him the Wind Buffalo.
Oh, right.
Very different from a sky bison.
Mhm.
That episode's so sad. I have a hard time watching it. I'm just
I'm
like,
realizing
Papa.
how many favorite episodes I have now. There's a lot.
I did watch
Right.
this episode again recently. What is the name of the young bandit leader who floods the town of Gaipan?
Oh, that's Jet,
Jet.
right?
That's Jet.
You are all correct.
Yeah.
I like that
The
one.
the only character who died.
Oh, I did not remember that actually.
Yeah. I
always
think
that
Gene
way.
actually tried to bring him back in the comics. He mentioned it in one of the author's notes. I think in the promise, but Brian and Mike were like, "No, he's dead."
And they do get to have the final say.
Yeah, they do.
One more easy one. Who did Katara's necklace originally belong to?
Her mother.
There it is.
Boom.
I am not keeping track, but I think everybody did fantastic.
Yay! I'm a winner.
It's hard to think of these things, when
Yeah.
you're on the spot.
Totally.
So good job. And the kind of trickier one, if you hadn't watched it recently, I think was the one for the fans. So I'm going to check in on the giveaway, but what is the name of King Boomy's pet goat gorilla is your question. Answer that, just put the name in the chat and that's your entry. And I'm going to draw a winner in just another minute here. But that pretty much rounds out our trivia questions for the moment, unless anybody else has a hard one for us. You're like, no more trivia now. Well, as I work on drawing the giveaway winner, thank you all again for joining us today. It is truly a pleasure to have the voice actors bringing these comics to life and having our comics creators participate as well. So thank you, as always, for doing this.
Thanks
Yes,
for having
thank
us.
Yeah, thank you
for
guys for
Thank you
having us.
again.
It was awesome.
This was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, such a thrill to hear professional voice actors
Yeah.
speak the words I wrote. Such
It
an
was
honor.
just-
Thank you so
it was
much.
Really,
Thank
really
you.
cool to listen to. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Aw.
Thank you so much for
Yeah, thank
creating.
you.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's always good to have
absolutely.
so much.
good words to say.
Thank you.
Drawings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you again for taking the time to do this today. I like to ask folks, if you would like to go around also and say, what else that you can talk about, because we know how it goes. What else you're working on now, and where people can find you online.
Sure. Who wants to start?
Me on Instagram, I'm Catero TV, Catero TV, and just Catero Colbert on Facebook.
I'm Justine Huxley on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm trying to get better at those TikToks, but I feel
Seriously.
very old. But yeah, you can hear me every season on Apex Legends. We are constantly doing new seasons every few months. We're constantly recording, and
That's awesome.
the rest I can't talk about, but yes.
Yeah.
So it goes.
I'm Deedee Magno Hall official on Instagram and Deedee Magno Hall on Twitter. I just finished doing a concert from a 90s band called The Party in
Right.
Orlando just recently. And I'm sort of just resting right now, but some things to come that I can't talk about yet.
Mhm.
I think we lost Arif, but I'm going to give his handle here that he,
Yes.
hold on, that he texted me. It
It's
is his,
been- Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry. It's at Arif S. Kinchen, I think is his handle for Instagram. But I just wanted to say thank you so much again, Faith and Peter, for writing this, and to all my amazing friends. You guys made this so delightful, and you guys are really amazing. So I feel really happy to have done this with everyone, and thank you, Kara, for organizing everything. And yeah. But you can find me on Instagram at Jennie_Kwan, and TikTok, Jennie Kwan Official. And just like all of us, I have some projects going on, but the ones I can talk about, I think I have already said. Scissor 7 on Netflix, season 3 is premiering as we speak. And another anime I think that people have told me about, I was like, oh, I play Mayuka Nisei on High Rise Invasion. Very, very dark and kind of gritty and kind of funky, but that is really fun. And then if you just look on my social media, we're going to do some Suki signings coming up, and there's some cons coming up. And if anybody wants to send me their copy of Suki Alone, I'm doing mail-in, so would be so happy to do that. And you can just find all of us on our social media. So I think that's it for now. But yeah, lots of good things coming up for Suki, still going. And yeah, I'll post what cons I'm going to be at coming up in the next couple months here. So yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yay.
Oh, everybody said what they got? Everybody talked?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He's back.
Let people know where they can find you online.
Well, you can find me at the Whole Foods on 3rd and 3rd. Always arguing about the orange juice not being pasteurized.
Oh my God.
Just like it says on the screen, at Arif S. Kinchen, but all one word. I usually do a daily stream on Twitch where I I raise money for Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Nice.
Oh wow. That's
We
amazing.
call it the ASK Blood Drive. Catero's been there numerous times. When things get back to normal, please come bring me your blood. 1 pint saves 3 lives. And we usually give away swag, and we play a lot of video games, and we try to help the kids of Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. But I'm Arif S. Kinchen everywhere. Most recently, you just heard me come out in Deathloop. So I'm very happy about a well-reviewed AAA game. So that's good. Friday we just hit with the Casa Grandes, and this Friday somebody came out on Twitter and gave the credits. I'm back for Judgment. So
Nice.
I'm in the new Judgment game. So that's going to be
Get it.
excellent. So I'm very happy, very pleased to be here, and just thank you, Jenny, for bringing this character to life so that they would have a comic to write.
Aw.
Also, you can
lucky.
find me in the back parking lot of Dark Horse trying to break into
Oh.
the car.
Yes.
Carol gonna be in the car. We're coming to get some boxes.
That's
We
right.
collect comic books.
Some free
We collect
comics.
comic books. Collect.
Yeah.
Right.
I got the Mylar.
I'll be on the lookout, and I'll make sure nobody else watches the stream so they
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh. You're gonna have to fly there, Arif. So,
Hey man, we'll do a boat, planes, trains.
Okay.
Right.
all right. Get me some of my comics then, please.
I will.
Okay.
We got
Keep
some-
me in mind.
We got some
It's
Mylar
probably-
for you.
It's probably faster right now, because shipping's still crazy thanks to pandemic backups. So
Totally.
Yeah.
driving down, picking stuff up yourself, like that's a good bet.
We're the Blues Brothers. We're on our way.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Faith and Peter, did we get you yet? Did you want to?
Yeah, I'm Faith Erin Hicks on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All one word, Faith Erin Hicks. Most active on Instagram. I post dumb comics and about 50 pictures of my cat a day because I love her so much. I have a new graphic novel coming out next year called Ride On. I wrote and drew it. It's about being a horse girl and Star Trek.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Hey, cats.
Gotta have a cat on stream.
I'm at Peter_Wartman on Twitter. I'm on at Peter Wartman, no underscore on Instagram. And I can't talk about anything I'm working on now. I'm working on a lot. So
You see how it
The
goes.
breaks.
Yeah. Cool.
More to come. Well, thank you again, everybody. I have not forgotten about the giveaway, folks. The giveaway winner has been drawn. Congratulations to Avatar Fanatic 345.
Get it.
You answered the question correctly. The name of King Boomy's pet is Flopsy.
Perfect.
So congratulations, Avatar Fanatic 345. We will whisper you here on Twitch, send you a direct message, and arrange your prize to be shipped to you, which is a copy of Suki Alone, and also Katara and the Pirate Silver, and Topps Metal Bending Academy.
Nice.
Nice.
So
Cool.
congratulations. Thank you, everybody watching at home, watching on both Dark Horse and Nickelodeon. Thank you to all of our colleagues at Nickelodeon for helping and supporting this stream. I hope everybody had a good time. Thank you to all the comic creators and voice actors for joining us today. And that's it from me. I'll say farewell from Dark Horse.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Bye.